Morning pit stoppers, Pablo-Pitstop here. Lovely day for a ride today. So the plan is to take you through a bit of basically mental health and what mental health is going to do to your riding. Now obviously I'm going to tie it in with Roadcraft. Those that are aware of Roadcraft will probably be well aware of the motorcycle Roadcraft. We'll get it for cars as well, obviously. Roadcraft is, or the system of vehicle control, IPSCA, whichever way you want to refer to it as, is the basic system used by your advanced drivers, your advanced riders, the emergency services, etc. So we'll be looking at that. Now, most of you will probably be aware of the system, Roadcraft. Some of us may not be. So I'm just going to break this down to give you an idea. Now, here's one that I prepared earlier on. So, you see me? What we've got now. We're going to be concentrating on the information phase to start with. Now, information comes from, for example, your road signs, your road markings, and observational links, for argument's sake. So, a good observational link, generally speaking, bus stops operate in pairs. There may be one on the left, there may be one on the right. Okay. Now, factor that into a school week, probably around the 3 o'clock timing. We're probably going to be expecting more kids. Okay, so an increase in vulnerable road users, etc. So, information. Now, from that information, that leads to our position. Now, positioning is really important, no matter whether it's a bend, a traffic light, a roundabout, whatever hazard, position. We're thinking about our speed. Are we at the right speed for the hazard? Do we have to ease off a little bit? Okay. Gear, are we in the right gear? Okay. Naturally, we'll also be looking at acceleration. Now, acceleration, we can look at acceleration sense such as rolling on the throttle, rolling off the throttle, keeping it constant round a bend. All this ultimately will also affect your position. Now, with that in mind, all well and good talking about the information. We'll go out for a ride, we'll have a chat about it as we're riding, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the barriers to processing this information. So let's get suited and booted. Right, back at base location. Let's have a quick chat now about barriers. It's all well and good. It's all well and good talking about the system, processing all that information, the planning, all that sort of good stuff, judging traffic, all that, all that brilliant stuff. But what we've got to think about, between the brain and the system, there are barriers. Okay, there are barriers which are going to prevent the processing of that information that you're looking at, that you're taking on board, or potentially taking on board. Now, these barriers are something which we shouldn't overlook. I'm just going to go through a few. There is a lot, but the ones really which are going to affect us guys when you're out there riding. Now, some of us might think memory retention. Now, memory retention is one of the, well, I'm getting old, blah de blah de blah. Well, you don't, aren't we all? Memory retention is one of them. The brain is a muscle. It needs to be exercised. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Equally as well, high blood pressure, for example, that's often a contributing or a symptom, shall we say, of stress. High blood pressure often leads to a heart attack. So high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels all affect memory retention. Now, what else affects information processing? Obviously, your distractions, using your phone as a sat nav, all that sort of stuff. Having a pillion talking to you, yes, pillions. It could form a distraction, so actually know when to temper it down. Okay, especially in busy areas where the rider is looking around, trying to observe, trying to process information. Experience, we're all learning. Every one of us is learning. When it comes to experience, we all make mistakes, okay? We all have good rides, we all have bad rides. What's important is, in order to close that learning cycle, we reflect on what's gone right, what's gone wrong, okay? Get out there, have a ride. If it's gone brilliant, ask yourself, my God, what did I do right on that bend? It felt different to the last one, okay? If you don't close it by reflecting, you're never going to learn. More so if you make a mistake. Why did you make a mistake? What happened? Was it the positioning? Was it your speed? Were you just not paying attention? Did you miss the junction prior to the overtake? Okay, so reflect on it. Social norms, to me, it's quite a big one. One of the biggest ones for me personally, it's almost socially acceptable to drive in that middle lane on a motorway. It's not, guys. Don't do it, please. It's dangerous. You're increasing the risk on the motorway to other road users. Drive on the left where you need to be. Okay, that's important. It's not socially acceptable in my book. Okay. What else we got? Stress we touched on with regards to high blood pressure. High blood pressure, increased heart attack, inflamed arteries. Stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. We've got acute stress, we've got chronic stress. If you're chronically exposed to something, I don't know, such as debt, finances, that sort of stuff, it will have a long-term negative impact on you, on your brain, on your body. Now, when it comes to that, it will affect your processes of information. It will affect your judgment, okay? So when you look at the information side of IPSCA, there's a lot now which are throwing barriers in the way. Sleep deprivation, I'm going to touch on sleep deprivation shortly. I'm going to get my whiteboard out, another whiteboard, and I'll take you through sleep deprivation. Complacency. A lot of collisions happen in your local area. You get used to riding that local area, your vision drops. You're not scanning far, you're not scanning wide, you're not scanning rearwards, okay? So complacency. Top tip, occasionally take different routes home, take different routes to work, okay? Mix it up a little bit, don't become complacent. Temperature's one of them. If it's cold outside, what you don't want is, once you start shivering, the cold starts to set in, the heat will leave your extremities, it'll go to your core to keep it warm. Your concentration levels will drop. Once your concentration levels drop, obviously your vision's dropping there, your lack of judgment is creeping, your ability to process information is starting to be hindered. Okay? Think about alcohol, think about drugs, all big no-nos. Don't forget medication, don't forget over-the-counter drugs, that sort of stuff. They can affect you as well, okay? So bear that in mind. If a doctor or somebody asks you, are you taking any other forms of medication? Tell them. What may happen is when you mix medication, it could have, it basically ends up in a chemical cocktail, one for a better word. So it can result in other things. Okay, so bear that one in mind. More about that later on as well. But that's it. Think about the barriers. Okay, guys? Let's go and do some more riding, eh? Circadian masking next, one of my favourites. Cross the roundabout now, clear over to the right, vehicle onto the roundabout now. A 30 mile gateway, speed check, mirror checks. Oh, now I've got a pedestrian on the left hand side up there. I'm staying out. Okay, looking down the near side of the white car. We have an oncoming car now. Check our mirrors coming across, keep an eye on the pedestrian, just looked over her shoulders, just crossing the road behind me. Got an example of a potential which developed into an actual. Keep an eye on the Mini there, looking into it. Hey, back out. Staying out now, staying out, staying out. Check mirrors, coming back in. Quite a bit happening now. Pedestrian right hand side up there again, oncoming vehicle emerging on the left hand side, not sure if they're stopping. Nice car driver. This is Ashbourne, this. Again, pedestrian right hand side there, school kids on the left hand side, just up on the side there. Checking mirrors, triangle junction to the right, a vehicle's just come across there, that pedestrian left hand side. Quite a few pedestrians now. Quick shoulder glance, just coming over to the right hand side, keep an eye on what they're doing. Again, vehicle up there, left hand side door open, just staying out. Keeping the head moving. And numerous cars parked on the left, lots of pedestrians looking into the junction on the right. Looking in reflections as well on the shop fronts, that sort of stuff. Easing off on the gas. Again, up in the distance there, vehicle turning, vehicle braking, pedestrians. Scanning far, scanning wide, down the pavements into the mirrors. Okay, constantly keeping my head moving now, so many hazards. Still thinking about my position, thinking about my speed. Pedestrian there, left hand side. Okay, looking into the junction on the right. Quick look at the pedestrian left hand side. Again, pedestrian on the left now, we're quite near to the edge of the road. Again, pedestrian looking across the road, potentially developing. We're following the road route to the left, looking up the hill now. Looking up through the apex. White Volvo, pedestrian on the right hand side up there, pedestrians on the left, vehicle turning. Mirror checks. Coming across my left hand side. Pedestrian left hand side there, keep an eye on them. Speed check, coming over to the right now for the left hander. Looks like it's narrowing, road rising, large heavy up in the distance there. Crossroads. Okay. Back of that heavy there's a car coming out. Turning, no change to vehicle behind me. Nice cliff of the curve for a 72 plate. Over to the left hand side. 40-mile-an-hour gateway. Speed check, mirror check up to speed. Just throttle a little bit, keep it at 40. Mirror checks over to the right now, road venue out to the left. Van's parked up right hand side, yielding a little bit. Back on line, over to the right. Okay, house on the left hand side there, road going to the right hand side, checking mirrors going across to the left. And triangle road to the right, road to the left. A gateway, 50 mile an hour, checking speed. Staying right. Road surface is good. Mirrors over to the left, planning board, dovetail to the left, coach just gone down there, to the right, over to the left, visor down, bit drafty that, but you can't hear nothing. Hey, road going to the right now, daylight, what a gorgeous day like this, temperature 8 degrees, it was 6 earlier on, cyclist left hand side, staying out, quick glance over to the right, getting an early position now, staying out. Okay, just creeping at the speed, back to 50, mirror check, coming back in. Okay, triangle there, checking mirrors, coming over to the right, staying right. Looking
looking through the apex, looking at the vanishing point, keep my throttle constant, keeping it, balancing it, over to the left of the right-hander, triangle, road to the left, over to the right, get myself confused.com. Okay, marker boards, mirror check, staying right, over to the left, pointing board, long cliff, will go that way I think. Okay, so mirrors, signal, already looking into the junction to which I'm turning, quick glance over that right shoulder, looking down, clear, road surface poor there, over to the right, over to the left, looking down now. This road surface isn't great on this stretch of road. Over to my left now, staying left. A lot of this is in the shade, so I'm expecting to be quite damp in places. Okay, you can see there, check my mirrors over to the right, over to my left, nicking at the speed limit a little bit, back to 50. 50 repeater side, road to the left, road to the right, mirror check over to the right hand, looking through now. The road dropping away, go to the left if you look at the hedgerows, yielding to the truck, offline. You can see the bin lid up there. Have it been emptied? Can't really see. Road's going to the right. Road surface is poor on here actually. You can see in places where the road's starting to actually deteriorate and give way. To my left, looking through, keeping my throttle balanced. Okay, very wet in places here, to my right hand side, back over. Keep the head moving, looking through the trees. No road markings, over to the right, staying right, road opening up, going to the left. Mirror checks up to the right hand side, keep the head moving, I'm not offsiding, no need to, nothing gained. Over to my left, looking through, road service is getting very poor here, it's going up and down. Yeah, if only you could feel it, thank God for stabilisation on GoPros. The sunshine now, road might dry up. Road rising, going over to the right, looking at the tree line there, so I'm going over to the left, ready for the right hander, so I'm already in position for the right hander. Okay, red sign left side, new road service in places here, no road markings, quick glance over the right, staying over, staying out, looking through the bend, triangle right, easing off on the throttle now, reducing speed as per the sign, it's there for a reason. Again looking through, road going to the right, road service is poor now, it's throwing me about in places to be honest with you. New road surface there, vehicle in front, dropping down, going to the left, looking up now where the cows are, house in the distance, mid distance, yellow back triangle, cyclists. You see there where the road's dropping away. Looking over the apex, car parked up there. Now looking through, marker boards, dropping the left elbow, in we come. Over to my right, for the right, over to the left for the right, sorry. Confused.com again. Again, faded triangle there, over to the right.
Base location here, saccadic masking. Now, saccadic masking is how the brain, in a nutshell, processes information. Okay, think of your brain in working in frames. Now, when you're looking at things, it's a bit of an illusion that you see a nice, smooth, picture, you don't. The eyes move in what we call saccades, little jerky movements. So consequently, in those saccades, that's where the black lines are on this picture here. Like I say, think of your brain as working in like 35mm camera film. You're going to develop natural gaps in the image. Now, these gaps are quite dangerous, very dangerous to motorbikers, to cyclists. Now, a car, for example, the brain will pick up a car or a large vehicle, it sees it as a threat. It can process the speed of a car or a larger vehicle quite accurately. Now, the thing with a cycle or a motorbike, the brain finds it a lot harder to judge speed because it doesn't see it as a threat. It's smaller, it doesn't see it as a threat. Now, for a motorbike, for example, it won't accurately judge the speed of that bike to probably around 25-30 metres away. By that time, if you're a car driver, a truck driver, whatever, you've probably pulled out of that junction, too late, bang. Quickly followed by, didn't see you there, mate, sorry. They probably were there, okay? You often hear, well, they must have been speeding. Probably not speeding, they were there, just that they've probably fallen, as you can see there, in the gap in the brain. Now this brings us now down to, again, the positioning part of roadcraft. Positioning is really important. Think about moving away from the hazard. You're driving or you're riding down the road there, you look to your left, you see a car sneaking out of a junction, peeking out, okay? Clock it. You can't assume they're looking at you and they can see you. They could be looking straight through you because literally you're there, but to them they can't see you because you're in the gap in their brain, all right? So move away from the hazard. If you're safe to do so, move over towards the centre line, move back in again. So what you're physically trying to do is put yourself in their frame, okay? Now, this is why, again, it's really important when you are out there riding and you're scanning far, scanning wide, move your head. Don't become tunnel visioned and just focus on the road ahead. You need to keep looking around, picking up information. The more information you pick up by scanning, the better it's going to be to fill the frames, the gaps in the brain, okay? So get out there, feed the brain information, keep looking. Now, car drivers, for example, I'd always say to a car driver, a bus driver, a truck driver, when you pull up to a junction, again, look twice, think bike, that good old advert that we used to put on television. Look to the left, pause. Look to the right, pause. Look left again, pause. Look right again, pause. Those little pauses are filling the gaps in the brain. Okay, filling the gaps in the brain. Those who look left, right, gone, you're the ones that are probably at risk of a collision. So think about it, guys. Feed the brain with information. Come on, let's get out there and ride. Some great roads today. I'm just shy of Longnor now. Basically heading back home. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to make myself a brew, and I'm going to enjoy the gorgeous scenery that we have around here. We've seen some fantastic roads today. It's been absolutely spot on. And you know, think of the positives, guys. We are surrounded by a lot of negativity in society. Get out there, enjoy it whilst you can. Doesn't matter, get wrapped up if it's a bit chilly. Take your time and enjoy it. I'm about to have a lovely brew. Not sure what, but here's Dora the Explorer, who's had quite an adventure today, honest with you. And there we go. Time to have a brew. Until later, see you later. Enjoy, guys, ride safe.